Hi, my name is Jeri Riley, and I want to talk to you today about a very touchy subject. I want to talk about women that have been molested and raped. I'm a 62-year-old female, and I was molested as a child. I walked around here till in my mid 50s trying to figure out why I was making wrong decisions in life, why I was going down the wrong road, trying to figure out what was wrong with me. And it's not until I realized that the secret that was held so deep down inside of me needed to be dealt with. And so during the time that I grew up, children were seen and not heard. So when those things happened to you, it was a secret. And so you walk around all your life with this secret embedded inside of you. You don't get to talk about it, you don't have any support, and then the family just ignores it. And then you become invisible to the family. It's like they love you, but then your issue becomes invisible, so you become invisible. So as you grow up with this issue inside of you, you make wrong decisions. Some women go down the wrong path in life. Some women don't even think they were worthy. And I went through all of those things, but God, it was not until I turned my life over to Jesus and I was saved that I realized I had an issue that I needed to deal with. So it took me and it took God to deal with that issue. So I'm coming today because I have written a book called I'm Not Invisible. God Sees Me. And it talks about my journey that I took through life as being molested as a child and the things that I went through as an adult, the things I went through when I raised my children. I can remember living in the second house from the corner. I was so afraid something would happen to my girls because I have two daughters, and they could only ride their bike to the corner and back to the house. How silly is that? But because the issues that it was so deep embedded in me that I had not had an opportunity to deal with, those are the things that I talk about in my book. It was only when I got saved and I came to God that I was able to overcome those obstacles. And so I wrote this book hoping and praying that this book will be able to help someone, especially women my age, that haven't had an opportunity to talk about what has happened to them as a child, to have the support that they need. And this book gives you all of that. It tells my journey of what I went through life as being molested as a child, and then the things that spilled over from that into my adult life. And so I'm just here asking women that have been through, pick up the book. It's only $13. You can get it at Amazon.com. Type my name in, Jeri Riley, Jeri Riley, and I promise you this book will be a blessing to you. Now, there are two stories in the Bible that talk about molestation and rape. Just so you know, it's nothing new. It's been going on for ages. And so if you go to Genesis chapter 34, you find the story of Dinah, who was minding her own business, and a young man who was the prince of the country takes advantage of her. Then, if you go to 2 Samuel chapter 13, you'll find the story of Tamar, who was molested by her stepbrother. So, see, molestation has been around for a long time. We just don't talk about it. I've been in church most of my life. I've never heard a minister speak on those two stories in the Bible. And if you read those stories and you do your research, during that time, women, after that happened to women, they were exiled and you never hear about them or hear from them again. So when you read those stories, those women just kind of disappear like they're invisible. And that's where I got the title of my book. I'm not invisible. God sees me. You see me. Understand why I act the way I act because what has happened in my life. And so when I realized that I'm not invisible and that God could see me, then that's when I started to my recovery period, me and God. I thank God, and you have to look at molestation. It's not something that God allows happen to you. God gives us all free will. And so it's people that do evil and do evil things. But I thank God today that I never got pregnant. I never got a disease. those things could have happened. And to me, that's how God protected me as a child. So again, the name of my book is I'm Not Invisible, God Sees Me. Take my book up, read it. It's only $13. You can find it on Amazon.com. Type in my name, Jeri Riley, and take the journey with me. I promise you, you won't regret it. Thank you.